we need to graph the equation using slope and the y-intercept. The equation is x plus 5y equals 20. So we need to put it into the format y equals mx plus b. That means we need to solve the equation for y. So moving the x, we have 5y equals minus x plus 20. I like to put the x term first to coincide with the mx. Divide both sides by 5 each term. So y is equal to negative 1/5 x plus 5 into 20 is 4. So the plus 4 is the b value. The slope is what multiplies the x. So the slope is negative 1/5. So now let's go to the graph. I'm going to get the graphing tool when I find it. I need to find my graphing tool. There it is. I want to graph a line, so I'm going to use this. And the first thing I want to plot is the y-intercept. Notice I have crosshairs. I want x equals 0, y equals 4. Notice in the upper right-hand corner, it says parentheses 0, 4. So that's the point that I'm on. Click the dot. And then I want to have a slope that is negative 1/5. Well, a slope that is negative 1/5, the minus sign goes either in the numerator or the denominator, but not both. The mistake is that people put the minus sign both top and bottom. So if I put it up top, from this point, I need to drop down 1, but I need to go forward 5 units. And now I can click. Notice the line is going down, and the lines going downward are a negative slope. So that's a check on your work. So if you perchance had made 2 negatives, you would have been going upward, which would be the wrong slope. So we have now graphed the problem successfully. In this problem, we're asked to graph the 2 given points, and then after that, to calculate the slope. Let's graph the points first. So finding my graphing tool, and I have my crosshairs. The first point is x is 3. Notice I'm at 3 and 0. Click that dot. The next point is to go back on x to negative 4, but I need to go down to negative 5. So make sure I'm at negative 4 and negative 5. I am. Notice the line is going up to the right. So when we calculate the slope, we should end up with a positive answer. So now let's calculate the slope by the slope formula. M is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. It doesn't matter which we call point 1 and which we call point 2, as long as that we are consistent. We want y sub 2, which is negative 5, minus y sub 1, which is 0, all over x sub 2, which is negative 4, minus x sub 1, which is 3. So the numerator is negative 5, the denominator is negative 7. Slope turns out to be a positive answer, which is consistent with our graph. This problem can be done either of 2 ways. It's saying graph by plotting points. So let's make a little chart. Let's pick an arbitrary value of x, but we want to pick multiples of 2. And the reason we want to do that is so that the y calculation is always a whole number. An easy value for x is usually x equals 0. So if x equals 0, plugging in 0, we have negative 1/2 times 0, which is 0. So the ordered pair is 0, 0. Picking another value for x, and again, not picking 1, not picking 3, because we want whole numbers for y. We're going to pick a multiple of 2, the denominator, which is 2. So negative 1/2 times 2 would be negative 1. And the ordered pair is 2, comma, negative 1. So let's plot those 2 points. And get in my graphing tool, I'm going to plot 0, 0 right there. And then 2, negative 1, which is this. So it looks like we have a downward slope. Now, I also could have plotted it without plotting the points. I could have, looking at the equation, y equals negative 1/2 x, compare it to y equals mx plus b. B understood is 0. That point would be the origin here. And then from that origin, the slope is negative 1/2. I would have come down 1 and over 2. So either of two ways, point by point plotting or using the y equals mx plus b equation, we would get the same result. Notice that we're asked to graph this equation, but we're asked to do x and y intercepts. So if you do not plot the intercepts, it's even though you may have the correct line, the problem is going to be marked wrong. So we have the equation 5y plus 2x equals -5. If we want the x-intercept, the x-intercept means we're crossing the x-axis. That implies that y equals 0. If we let y equal 0 in the equation above, we have 2x equals -5. Therefore, x is equal to -5/2. So the ordered pair is -5/2, comma, 0. Now the y-intercept means we're crossing the y-axis. Therefore, x is equal to 0. Plugging in x equals 0, we have 5y equals -5. Y equals -1. And the ordered pair is 0, comma, -1. Let's go ahead and plot those two values. Get the line tool. And notice the scale factor. Notice the scale factor. We want -5/2. That's -2.5. So -2.5, but y is 0. And then the other point is x equals 0, y equals -1. But notice the scale factor. And now we have plotted the particular equation by finding the intercepts. We want to fill in this chart for the equation 5x minus y equals 15. So we're told the value of x. If x is 5, we're asked to calculate the y. So we're going to plug in x equals 5. So I'll do that over here. 5 times 5, take away y equals 15. That's 25 minus y equals 15. I'm going to move the negative y to my right and the 15 to my left. So 25 minus 15. So y equals 10. All right, we now want to plug in x equals 0. We plug in x equals 0. 5 times 0, take away y equals 15. That's negative y equals 15. Y equals -15. And now we're told the values of y. So let's let y equals 0. So 5x minus 0 equals 15. 5x equals 15. X is equal to 3. So x equals 3 when y equals 0. We now want to let y equal 15. So 5x minus 15 is equal to 15. That's 5x equals, moving the -15, it's 15 plus 15, or 30. and therefore x is equal to 6.